Welcome to Woo English. In this story, you'll learn English through clear and simple sentences. We encourage you to write comments and share your thoughts. If you enjoy the story, please press the like button to reward us. It really helps us out. Remember, the purpose of this story is educational. We want to help you improve your English while enjoying an exciting tale. We do not encourage or glorify the actions of the characters involved. Let's begin the journey together. Chapter 1. Early Life. Thomas Alva Edison was born on a cold winter day, February 11, 1847, in the small village of Milan, Ohio. The town was quiet and surrounded by fields and rivers. Thomas was the youngest of 7 children in the Edison family. His father, Samuel Edison, was a hard-working man who tried many jobs to support his large family. His mother, Nancy Edison, was a former schoolteacher who loved to read and teach her children. From a young age, Thomas, or Al, as his family called him, was different from other children. He was curious about everything around him. He often asked his parents and siblings endless questions about how things worked. Why did the wind blow? How did the stars shine? His family sometimes grew tired of his constant questioning, but his mother always encouraged him to keep asking and exploring. When Al was 7 years old, his family moved to Port Huron, Michigan. Port Huron was a bustling town with many new sights and sounds. Al's curiosity grew even more in this new environment. He loved exploring the docks and watching the ships come and go on Lake Huron. The busy life of the town fascinated him, and he always found something new to learn about. Al started school in Port Huron, but traditional education did not suit him. His mind was always racing with ideas and questions, and he had difficulty sitting still in the classroom. His teachers did not understand his restless nature and labeled him as a troublemaker. Al's mind was like a busy workshop, always creating and imagining, but the rigid structure of school frustrated him. One day, Al's teacher, frustrated by his constant questioning and inability to focus, called him addled, which means confused or slow. When Nancy Edison heard this, she was furious. She knew her son was not slow, he was simply different. Determined to give him the education he deserved, Nancy decided to teach Al at home. Nancy transformed their home into a little schoolhouse. She taught Al reading, writing, and arithmetic, but she also encouraged him to explore subjects that interested him. She brought him books on science, history, and literature, opening a new world of knowledge for her curious son. Al devoured these books, reading everything he could get his hands on. His mother's belief in him gave him the confidence to pursue his interests. One day, while reading a science book, Al came across an experiment involving static electricity. His eyes lit up with excitement. He ran to his mother and asked if he could try the experiment. Nancy, always supportive, helped him gather the materials. They spent the afternoon creating static electricity with a silk cloth and a glass rod. When Al saw the sparks fly, he was amazed. This simple experiment sparked a lifelong passion for science and invention. Al's home education continued to flourish. Nancy's teaching style was hands-on and interactive. She encouraged Al to conduct experiments and learn by doing. One day, she brought home a chemistry set, and Al's fascination with chemicals began. He set up a small laboratory in the basement, filling it with bottles and jars of various substances. The basement became his haven, a place where he could tinker and experiment to his heart's content. One evening, after dinner, Al asked his father, "How does a steam engine work?" Samuel, though tired from a long day's work, explained the basics of steam power. Al listened intently, his mind racing with ideas. Later, in his basement lab, he tried to build a miniature steam engine. It didn't work, but he didn't give up. He kept experimenting, learning from each failure. Al's experiments were not always successful or safe. One day, he accidentally set the basement on fire while trying to create a chemical reaction. The family managed to put out the fire, but his father was furious and banned him from doing experiments at home. However, Nancy defended her son, understanding his need to explore and learn. She persuaded Samuel to let Al continue his experiments, but with more caution. Despite his unconventional education, or perhaps because of it, Al thrived. He read about famous inventors and scientists like Benjamin Franklin and Isaac Newton, dreaming of making his own discoveries one day. His mother's nurturing and belief in his potential instilled in him a relentless drive to learn and innovate. One Christmas, Nancy gifted Al a book titled The School of Natural Philosophy. The book explained scientific principles through simple experiments. Al was thrilled. He spent hours performing the experiments described in the book, often modifying them to see what new results he could achieve. His mother's gift was not just a book. It was a key to understanding the world around him. As Al grew older, his interests expanded beyond science. He became fascinated with technology and machines. He would spend hours at the local library, reading about the latest inventions and developments. The librarian, impressed by his enthusiasm, allowed him to borrow more books than usual. Al's thirst for knowledge seemed unquenchable. One of Al's favorite places in Port Huron was the train station. The bustling activity and the powerful locomotives fascinated him. He spent hours watching the trains, asking the engineers questions, and learning about the mechanics of the engines. He even befriended a station master who allowed him to ride in the engine cab occasionally. These experiences deepened his understanding of machinery and fueled his imagination. By the age of 12, Al was ready to contribute financially to his family. He convinced his parents to let him sell newspapers on the Grand Trunk Railroad line. He set up a small business, selling newspapers, candy, and other goods to passengers. This job not only provided him with income, but also exposed him to a wider world of ideas and information. During his time on the train, Al set up a small laboratory in one of the boxcars. He continued his experiments in his mobile lab, always curious, always learning. One of his most memorable experiments during this period was attempting to print his own newspaper, the Grand Trunk Herald. Using a small hand-crank printing press, he published and sold his newspaper to passengers, reporting on local news and events. These early years of Thomas Alva Edison's life were filled with curiosity, experimentation, and a relentless pursuit of knowledge. His mother's unwavering support and belief in his abilities laid the foundation for his future successes. Al's story reminds us that true education goes beyond the classroom, and that with curiosity and determination, we can achieve great things. His early experiences set the stage for a lifetime of invention and innovation, making him one of the most influential figures in history. Chapter 2. First Experiments. In the small town of Port Huron, Michigan, young Thomas Alva Edison was known for his insatiable curiosity. From the moment he could talk, he bombarded his family with questions about the world around him. Why does the sun rise? How do birds fly? What makes plants grow? His mind was a whirlwind of questions and ideas, always seeking answers. When Thomas turned 10, his mother Nancy gave him a special gift, a book called The School of Natural Philosophy. It was a simple science book with easy experiments that could be done at home. Thomas was thrilled. He read the book from cover to cover, fascinated by the experiments, and eager to try them himself. With his mother's encouragement, Thomas set up a small laboratory in the basement of their home. It wasn't much, just a wooden table with some old jars, bottles, and a few basic chemicals. But to Thomas, it was a place where magic happened. He spent every spare moment in his lab, mixing chemicals, observing reactions, and writing down his findings in a notebook. One of his first experiments involved making a battery. He had read in his book that he could create a simple battery using a lemon, a copper coin, and a piece of zinc. He carefully pushed the copper coin and the zinc into the lemon and attached them with wires. To his amazement, the experiment worked. The lemon battery produced a small amount of electricity, enough to make a tiny bulb light up. Thomas's eyes sparkled with excitement. This small success fueled his desire to learn more. However, not all of Thomas's experiments were successful. One day, he decided to experiment with chemicals to create a gas that could produce light. He mixed several substances in a glass jar, hoping to capture the gas. Instead, the mixture exploded with a loud bang, filling the basement with smoke. Thomas coughed and waved his hands to clear the air, but he was not discouraged. He simply noted in his book what went wrong and moved on to the next experiment. Another time, Thomas tried to create a telegraph machine. He had read about the invention of the telegraph and was fascinated by the idea of sending messages over long distances using electrical signals. He gathered some wires, magnets, and a small battery. After weeks of tinkering, he managed to create a simple telegraph that could send a signal from one end of the basement to the other. It wasn't perfect, but it worked, and that was enough to keep Thomas's spirits high. His experiments were not always appreciated by his family. His father, Samuel, often scolded him for making a mess in the basement or for the strange smells that wafted up to the kitchen. But his mother, Nancy, always defended him, believing that his curiosity and determination would lead to great things. She saw the spark of genius in her son and nurtured it with love and patience. One of Thomas's most memorable experiments involved a chicken egg. He had read that heating an egg in a certain way could cause it to turn into rubber. Intrigued, Thomas carefully heated the egg over a flame. Instead of turning into rubber, the egg exploded, splattering yolk and shell all over the basement. Covered in egg, Thomas laughed at his mistake. To him, every failure was just a step closer to success. Despite these setbacks, Thomas's enthusiasm never waned. He was always on the lookout for new experiments to try. One day, he read about a scientist who had created a substance that could glow in the dark. Eager to make his own, Thomas mixed different chemicals in a glass jar and placed it in the dark basement. To his delight, the jar glowed with a faint green light. He had succeeded. This experiment made him dream about inventing new sources of light, a dream that would shape his future. Thomas's persistence and creativity began to attract attention. His neighbors and friends were curious about the strange boy who spent all his time in the basement. Some thought he was a bit odd, while others admired his dedication. Despite what others thought, Thomas remained focused on his experiments, always eager to learn and discover. One day, his mother brought home a book about the great scientist Michael Faraday. Faraday's experiments with electricity and magnetism fascinated Thomas. He read the book eagerly, taking notes and dreaming about his own future experiments. Inspired by Faraday, Thomas decided to build his own electromagnet. He wound a piece of wire around a metal rod and connected it to a battery. When he switched on the current, the rod became magnetized, picking up small metal objects. Thomas was ecstatic. This experiment opened up a new world of possibilities for him. As Thomas continued his experiments, he realized that he needed more equipment and materials. He decided to earn some money by selling newspapers and candy on the Grand Trunk Railroad. His job allowed him to save up for more supplies, and he even set up a small lab in one of the train's boxcars. This way, he could experiment while traveling, combining work with his passion for science. One of his proudest moments came when he managed to create his own telegraph line between his home and a friend's house nearby. Using materials he had gathered and his knowledge from earlier experiments, Thomas set up the line and sent his first message. It was a simple hello, but to Thomas it felt like he had conquered a new frontier. His success with the telegraph inspired him to think about how communication and technology could change the world. Through all his trials and errors, Thomas learned the importance of persistence. Every failure taught him something new, and every success, no matter how small, fueled his ambition. His early experiments laid the groundwork for his future as an inventor. They taught him how to think creatively, solve problems, and never give up, no matter how difficult the challenge. Thomas's story is a reminder that great things often start from humble beginnings. His small basement laboratory was the birthplace of ideas that would one day revolutionize the world. His journey was just beginning, and the lessons he learned from his early experiments would guide him throughout his life. As Thomas grew older, his experiments became more sophisticated, but the spark of curiosity that drove him as a young boy never faded. His determination to understand how things worked and to make them better defined his career as one of the greatest inventors in history. From the small lab in his basement to the heights of his achievements, Thomas Edison's early experiments were the foundation of his inventive genius. Chapter 3. The Telegraph Operator. At the age of 15, Thomas Alva Edison was not like most boys his age. While many of his peers were still in school, Thomas was already working. He had become a telegraph operator, a job that allowed him to travel and work in various cities. This job was a significant turning point in his life, shaping his future in ways he could not yet imagine. Thomas's journey as a telegraph operator began by chance. One summer day, as he was selling newspapers at the train station, he saw a young boy playing near the tracks. Suddenly, the boy slipped and fell onto the tracks as a train was approaching. Without thinking twice, Thomas rushed forward and pulled the boy to safety just in time. The boy's father, J.U. Mackenzie, was a station agent and telegraph operator. Grateful for Thomas's bravery, he offered to teach him how to operate the telegraph as a reward. Thomas eagerly accepted the offer. The telegraph was a marvel of modern technology, allowing messages to be sent over long distances using electrical signals. Learning to operate it was no easy task. It required quick thinking, precise timing, and a good ear to decode the series of dots and dashes that made up Morse code. But Thomas was determined and quickly became proficient. With his new skills, Thomas got a job as a telegraph operator. His work took him to various cities, giving him a taste of the world beyond his small town of Port Huron. He traveled to places like Detroit, Indianapolis, and Cincinnati, meeting new people and seeing new sights. Each city had its own character and charm, and Thomas absorbed everything like a sponge. Being a telegraph operator was demanding work. Thomas worked long hours, often through the night, sending and receiving messages. The telegraph office was a bustling place, filled with the constant clicking of telegraph keys and the hum of activity. Despite the long hours, Thomas loved his job. He enjoyed the challenge and the excitement of being at the heart of communication. Working as a telegraph operator taught Thomas many valuable skills. He learned to think quickly and solve problems on the spot. When a line went down or a message got garbled, he had to find a way to fix it. This problem-solving ability would later become crucial in his career as an inventor. One of the most important skills Thomas learned was how to multitask. Operating a telegraph required him to listen, decode, and type messages all at the same time. This ability to handle multiple tasks simultaneously helped him later when he managed complex projects and teams. In addition to technical skills, Thomas's job exposed him to a world of ideas and information. The telegraph was a lifeline for news and business, and Thomas handled messages about everything from stock prices to personal letters. This constant flow of information kept him informed about the latest developments in technology and science. Thomas's curiosity and inventiveness did not take a back seat while he worked as a telegraph operator. In fact, the job inspired him to think about how he could improve the telegraph system. He noticed that the equipment often malfunctioned and required frequent repairs. Determined to find a solution, he began tinkering with the machinery during his free time. One of his first inventions was an automatic repeater, a device that allowed telegraph messages to be transmitted more efficiently over long distances. This invention was significant because it simplified the process of relaying messages from one telegraph office to another, making communication faster and more reliable. Although it wasn't a commercial success, it demonstrated Thomas's ability to identify problems and come up with innovative solutions. Thomas's work as a telegraph operator also taught him the importance of perseverance. The job was not always easy. There were nights when he was exhausted and times when he made mistakes, but he never gave up. He learned from his errors and kept pushing forward, driven by a desire to improve and succeed. During his travels, Thomas met many other telegraph operators who shared his passion for technology. They exchanged ideas and discussed the latest inventions. These interactions fueled his ambition and broadened his understanding of what was possible. He realized that the telegraph was just the beginning and that there were endless opportunities to innovate and create. One of the most memorable experiences during Thomas's time as a telegraph operator happened in Louisville, Kentucky. He was working the night shift when a severe thunderstorm hit the city. Lightning struck the telegraph lines, causing a massive surge that knocked out the entire system. The office was in chaos, with operators frantically trying to restore communication. Thomas quickly assessed the situation and devised a plan. He used his knowledge of electrical circuits to reroute the connections and bypass the damaged lines. Within a few hours, he managed to get the system back up and running. His quick thinking and technical expertise impressed his colleagues and earned him a reputation as a problem solver. Despite his success, Thomas knew that being a telegraph operator was just a stepping stone. He had bigger dreams and ambitions. He wanted to be an inventor, to create things that would change the world. His experiences as a telegraph operator had given him the skills and confidence to pursue those dreams. One day, while working in Boston, Thomas came across a new invention called the duplex telegraph. This device allowed two messages to be sent simultaneously over the same wire. Fascinated by the concept, Thomas began thinking about how he could improve it further. He spent countless hours in his small apartment, experimenting with different designs and ideas. After many trials and errors, Thomas invented a quadruplex telegraph, a device that could send 4 messages at the same time. This invention was a significant breakthrough and demonstrated his potential as a serious inventor. It also caught the attention of investors and paved the way for his future endeavors. Thomas's time as a telegraph operator was a period of growth and learning. It was a time when he honed his skills, developed his problem-solving abilities, and nurtured his passion for invention. The job gave him the practical experience and confidence he needed to pursue his dreams. As he moved forward in his career, Thomas never forgot the lessons he learned during those early years. The determination, perseverance, and curiosity that drove him as a young telegraph operator continued to guide him throughout his life. These qualities helped him overcome challenges and achieve success in his later inventions. The telegraph had opened up a world of possibilities for Thomas, and he was ready to explore them all. His journey was just beginning, and the future was filled with endless opportunities for innovation and discovery. Thomas Alva Edison, the telegraph operator, was on his way to becoming one of the greatest inventors in history. Chapter 4. First Patent. Thomas Edison sat at his cluttered workbench, deep in thought. His fingers tapped rhythmically on the table as he stared at the various parts and pieces scattered before him. He had an idea, one that had been growing in his mind for weeks, and he was determined to bring it to life. It was the early 1860s, and Edison, now in his 20s, was ready to create something that would make a real impact. Edison's inspiration came from his job as a telegraph operator. He had spent years working with telegraphs and had seen firsthand the limitations of the current technology. The stock ticker, a device used to transmit stock prices over telegraph lines, was slow and unreliable. Edison believed he could improve it. His plan was to create a more efficient stock ticker, one that could transmit prices faster and more accurately. He envisioned a device that would print the prices on a strip of paper, making it easier for brokers to read and record the information. To achieve this, Edison needed to combine his knowledge of telegraphy with his inventive spirit. Edison worked tirelessly on his invention. He experimented with different designs, often staying up late into the night to test his ideas. His small workshop was filled with the sounds of tinkering and the smell of solder and oil. Despite numerous failures and setbacks, Edison remained focused. He knew that each failure brought him one step closer to success. One of the biggest challenges was finding a way to synchronize the ticker machines. If the machines were not perfectly timed, the stock prices would be inaccurate. Edison spent countless hours refining the mechanism, adjusting gears, and calibrating the timing. Finally, after months of hard work, he had a breakthrough. He devised a simple yet effective solution, a central transmitter that would send signals to all the ticker machines, ensuring they were perfectly synchronized. With the mechanical problems solved, Edison turned his attention to the electrical components. He designed a special type of relay that improved the accuracy and speed of the signal transmission. This relay was a key part of his invention, allowing the stock prices to be transmitted quickly and without error. Edison's new stock ticker was a marvel of engineering. It was faster, more reliable, and easier to use than any existing device. Confident in his creation, he decided it was time to seek a patent. A patent would protect his invention and give him the exclusive rights to produce and sell it. The process of obtaining a patent was not easy. Edison had to prepare detailed drawings and descriptions of his invention, clearly explaining how it worked and why it was unique. He also needed to demonstrate its practical use. This required meticulous attention to detail and a thorough understanding of patent law. Edison submitted his patent application in early 1869. While waiting for approval, he continued to refine his invention, making small improvements and testing its reliability. The anticipation was nerve-wracking, but Edison remained optimistic. He believed in his invention and knew it had the potential to revolutionize the stock market. Finally, in June 1869, Edison received the news he had been waiting for. His patent was approved. He held the document in his hands, feeling a sense of accomplishment and pride. This was his first patent, a testament to his hard work and ingenuity. With the patent secured, Edison began looking for investors. He needed financial backing to manufacture and market his stock ticker. He demonstrated the device to several businessmen, showcasing its speed and accuracy. The response was overwhelmingly positive. Investors saw the potential of Edison's invention and were eager to support it. One of the investors was a prominent financier named Edward Callahan, who was impressed by Edison's invention. Callahan offered to buy the rights to the stock ticker for $40,000, a substantial sum at the time. Edison, recognizing the opportunity, agreed to the deal. The money he received allowed him to set up a proper laboratory and fund future projects. The success of his stock ticker and the substantial payment propelled Edison into a full-time career as an inventor. He now had the resources and the confidence to pursue his ideas and bring them to life. His workshop, which he called the Invention Factory, became a hub of creativity and innovation. Edison's stock ticker was soon adopted by stock exchanges across the country, brokers and traders praised its efficiency and accuracy, and it quickly became an essential tool in the financial industry. The success of his invention validated Edison's belief in the power of technology to improve people's lives. But Edison was not one to rest on his laurels. The success of the stock ticker only fueled his desire to invent more. He knew that the world was full of problems waiting to be solved, and that his creativity and determination could make a difference. He continued to experiment and innovate, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a passion for discovery. The process of creating the stock ticker taught Edison many valuable lessons. He learned the importance of perseverance, the need to learn from failures, and the value of thorough research and testing. These lessons would guide him throughout his career, helping him navigate the challenges and obstacles he would face. Edison's first patent was more than just a piece of paper. It was a symbol of his potential and a stepping stone to greater achievements. It marked the beginning of a journey that would see him become one of the greatest inventors in history. His success with the stock ticker proved that with hard work and determination, anything was possible. In the years that followed, Edison would go on to create countless other inventions, each one building on the lessons he learned from the stock ticker. His story is a reminder that innovation requires not just brilliance, but also dedication, resilience, and a willingness to take risks. Edison's first patent was the spark that ignited a lifetime of invention. It was a testament to his ability to turn ideas into reality, to solve problems and create solutions. As he stood in his workshop, surrounded by the tools of his trade, Edison knew that this was just the beginning. The world was full of possibilities, and he was ready to explore them all. The story of Edison's first patent is a story of creativity, hard work, and the power of invention. It is a story that inspires us to pursue our own ideas, to believe in our potential, and to never give up, no matter how difficult the journey may be. Chapter 5. Menlo Park Laboratory. In the small town of Menlo Park, New Jersey, Thomas Edison was about to create a place that would change the world. It was the year 1876, and Edison had a vision. He wanted to build a laboratory where he and his team could work on new inventions. This laboratory would become a famous place known as the Invention Factory. Edison chose Menlo Park because it was quiet and away from the busy city. He bought a piece of land and started building. The laboratory was a large two-story building with plenty of space for experiments and offices. Next to it, there was a smaller building where the team could make models and prototypes. Edison wanted everything they needed in one place. When the laboratory was finished, Edison began assembling a team of bright and talented people. He chose experts from different fields: engineers, chemists, and machinists. Each member of the team brought their own skills and knowledge, and together they made a powerful group. Edison believed that teamwork was the key to success. He knew that one person alone could not do everything. The atmosphere at Menlo Park was full of energy and excitement. The team worked long hours, often late into the night. The laboratory was filled with the sounds of hammers, saws, and the hum of machines. There were always new experiments happening, new ideas being tested. It was a place where creativity and innovation thrived. One of the first major projects at Menlo Park was to improve the telephone. Alexander Graham Bell had invented the telephone, but it had many problems. The sound quality was poor, and it was hard to hear the person on the other end. Edison and his team set out to make the telephone better. They worked tirelessly, trying different materials and designs. Finally, they succeeded. They invented a new transmitter that made the voice much clearer. This improvement made the telephone more practical and popular, but Edison's ambitions didn't stop there. He had a bigger dream: to invent a practical electric light bulb. At that time, people used gas lamps and candles for light. They were dangerous and didn't provide much light. Edison wanted to create a light bulb that was safe, bright, and long-lasting. The team at Menlo Park began experimenting with different materials for the filament, the part of the light bulb that glows. They tried hundreds of materials from metals to plant fibers. Each time, they recorded their results and learned from their failures. The process was slow and difficult, but they did not give up. After many months of hard work, they finally found the right material. It was a carbonized bamboo filament. When they tested it, the bulb glowed brightly and lasted much longer than any other material they had tried. Edison and his team were thrilled. They had created the first practical electric light bulb. The invention of the light bulb was a huge success, but Edison knew that it was only the beginning. He needed to create a whole system to make electric lighting practical for homes and businesses. This meant building power plants to generate electricity and designing a way to deliver that electricity safely to houses and buildings. The team at Menlo Park tackled this new challenge with the same energy and determination. They designed generators, wires, and other equipment needed for an electric power system. In 1882, Edison opened the first commercial power plant in New York City. For the first time, people could light their homes with electricity. It was a revolutionary change that transformed daily life. The success of Menlo Park was not just because of the inventions themselves, but also because of the way the team worked together. Edison fostered a spirit of collaboration and encouraged everyone to share their ideas. He believed that the best results came from working together and learning from each other. One of the most inspiring aspects of Menlo Park was the way failures were treated. Edison and his team saw failures as valuable lessons. When an experiment didn't work, they didn't see it as a setback. Instead, they saw it as an opportunity to learn and improve. This positive attitude helped them overcome many challenges and achieve great things. The Menlo Park Laboratory became famous around the world. People were amazed by the inventions coming out of this small town in New Jersey. Reporters wrote articles about Edison and his team, calling him the Wizard of Menlo Park. But Edison always credited his team for their hard work and creativity. The collaborative spirit at Menlo Park inspired many other inventors and scientists. It showed that innovation was not just about having a great idea, but also about working together, experimenting, and never giving up. The laboratory became a model for future research and development centers. As the years passed, Edison continued to work on new projects at Menlo Park. He and his team invented the phonograph, which could record and play back sound. They also made improvements to the motion picture camera, which led to the creation of movies. Each new invention brought new challenges and new opportunities for learning. Edison's work at Menlo Park laid the foundation for the modern world. The inventions created there touched every aspect of life, from communication to entertainment to daily living. The laboratory itself became a symbol of innovation and progress. The story of Menlo Park is a story of vision, hard work, and teamwork. It teaches us that great achievements are possible when we combine our skills and work together towards a common goal. Edison's laboratory was not just a place of invention. It was a place of inspiration. It showed that with determination and collaboration, we can change the world. Menlo Park was more than just a laboratory. It was a place where dreams became reality, where the impossible became possible. Edison's vision and the collaborative spirit of his team created a legacy that continues to inspire inventors and innovators today. As we look back at the achievements of Menlo Park, we are reminded of the power of teamwork and the importance of perseverance. Edison's story encourages us to be curious, to experiment, and to work together to solve problems. The lessons learned at Menlo Park are timeless, and they continue to guide us in our own quests for knowledge and innovation. Chapter 6. The phonograph. Thomas Edison sat in his lab, deep in thought. The room was filled with the hum of machines and the smell of oil and metal. Papers covered his desk, each one filled with notes and drawings. Edison was always thinking, always inventing. But today, he was working on something special, something that would change the world. It was 1877, and Edison had been experimenting with ways to improve the telegraph and the telephone. One day, while working on a machine to record telegraph messages, an idea struck him. What if he could record sound? Not just telegraph signals, but actual voices and music. Excited by the idea, Edison began to sketch out a plan. He imagined a device that could capture sound waves and record them on a medium. To test his idea, he needed a material that could be easily marked by sound vibrations. He decided to use a thin sheet of tinfoil wrapped around a metal cylinder. Edison called his assistant, John Crucy, to help build the device. They worked together day and night to create the first prototype. The machine had a hand-cranked cylinder covered with tinfoil and a needle attached to a diaphragm. When someone spoke into the mouthpiece, the sound waves would make the diaphragm vibrate, moving the needle and creating indentations on the tinfoil. Finally, the moment of truth arrived. Edison decided to test the machine himself. He turned the crank and spoke into the mouthpiece. "Mary had a little lamb." The needle moved, etching the sound waves onto the tinfoil. Edison and Crucy held their breath as they played back the recording. To their amazement, the machine worked. They heard Edison's voice, faint but clear, reciting the nursery rhyme. The invention of the phonograph was a breakthrough. Edison was thrilled, but he also saw the potential for improvement. He continued to refine the machine, experimenting with different materials and designs to improve the sound quality. He replaced the tinfoil with wax cylinders, which were more durable and produced clearer recordings. Word of Edison's invention spread quickly. People were amazed by the phonograph and its ability to capture and reproduce sound. It was like magic. For the first time, they could hear recorded voices and music. The phonograph became a sensation, attracting attention from around the world. Edison saw many possibilities for his invention. He imagined people using the phonograph to record important speeches, preserve family voices, and enjoy music at home. He also saw its potential for education, with teachers using it to record lessons and students using it to practice pronunciation. The phonograph had a significant impact on the music industry. Before its invention, music was a live experience. People had to go to concerts or play instruments themselves to enjoy music. With the phonograph, they could listen to recordings at any time. This changed the way people experienced music and led to the development of the recorded music industry. Edison's invention also influenced the field of communication. The phonograph made it possible to send recorded messages, preserving the speaker's voice and intonation. This was especially useful for business and legal purposes, where clear communication was essential. As the phonograph grew in popularity, Edison faced competition from other inventors. Some improved on his design, creating machines that used flat discs instead of cylinders. These discs, or records, became the standard format for sound recordings. Edison adapted to the changes, continuing to innovate and improve his phonograph. Despite the challenges, Edison remained passionate about his invention. He saw it as more than just a machine. It was a way to connect people, share knowledge, and preserve memories. He believed that the phonograph had the power to change lives. One of the most touching uses of the phonograph was in preserving the voices of loved ones. People recorded messages for family members who were far away, keeping a piece of them close even when separated by distance. The phonograph captured moments in time, allowing future generations to hear the voices of their ancestors. Edison's invention also had a profound impact on language learning. Students used the phonograph to practice listening and speaking skills, improving their pronunciation and fluency. Teachers recorded lessons and language exercises, making it easier for students to learn and review. The phonograph opened new opportunities for storytelling and entertainment. Before its invention, stories were shared orally or through books. With the phonograph, people could listen to recorded stories, enjoying them in a new way. This led to the creation of audiobooks and radio dramas, expanding the world of storytelling. Edison's work on the phonograph was a testament to his creativity and determination. He faced many obstacles, but he never gave up. He believed in the power of his invention and worked tirelessly to make it a reality. His persistence paid off, changing the world in ways he could never have imagined. The phonograph was more than just a technological marvel. It was a symbol of human ingenuity and the desire to connect and communicate. Edison's invention paved the way for many other innovations, from the radio to the modern recording industry. It showed that with imagination and hard work, even the most extraordinary ideas could become reality. As we listen to music, audiobooks, and recorded messages today, we owe a debt of gratitude to Thomas Edison and his phonograph. His invention brought the world closer together, making it possible to share voices and sounds across time and space. It reminds us that the power of sound is timeless, and the desire to connect is universal. Edison's story teaches us the importance of curiosity and persistence. It shows that great inventions come from asking questions, experimenting, and never giving up. The phonograph is a reminder that even simple ideas can have a profound impact, changing the world in ways we can't always foresee. Thomas Edison's phonograph was a revolutionary invention, one that continues to inspire and influence us today. It is a testament to the power of innovation and the enduring human spirit. As we move forward, we carry the lessons of the phonograph with us, always striving to explore, create, and connect. You're listening to Woo English. If you enjoyed learning about Thomas Edison's remarkable life and the lessons we can take from it, please like and comment on the story. Chapter 7. Electric Light Bulb. In the late 1870s, Thomas Edison was determined to solve one of the greatest challenges of his time, creating a practical and long-lasting electric light bulb. At that time, people used gas lamps and candles for light. These sources were not only dim but also dangerous and expensive. Edison dreamed of inventing a light bulb that could be used safely and affordably in homes and businesses. Edison knew this would not be an easy task. Many inventors before him had tried and failed. However, he believed that with enough hard work and perseverance, he could succeed where others had not. He began his quest with a simple but powerful idea: to find the perfect material for the filament, the part of the light bulb that glows when electricity passes through it. The first step in his journey was to build a special laboratory dedicated to this project. In Menlo Park, New Jersey, Edison set up a large workshop where he and his team of skilled assistants could experiment day and night. The laboratory was filled with all kinds of materials and equipment, and the air buzzed with excitement and determination. Edison and his team started their work by testing different materials for the filament. They experimented with metals like platinum and tungsten, as well as organic materials like cotton and bamboo. Each test involved carefully preparing the material, placing it inside a glass bulb, and passing an electric current through it to see how well it glowed and how long it lasted. The team faced many challenges. Some materials burned out quickly, while others did not produce enough light. Edison's notebook filled with records of each experiment, detailing the results and noting what worked and what did not. Despite the numerous failures, Edison remained optimistic. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." One of the major problems Edison encountered was finding a way to create a vacuum inside the glass bulb. Air caused the filament to burn out too quickly, so he needed to remove as much air as possible to make the light bulb last longer. Edison and his team worked tirelessly to perfect the vacuum pump, a device that could suck out the air from the bulb. After many trials, they finally succeeded in creating a strong enough vacuum to protect the filament. Another breakthrough came when Edison discovered that carbonized bamboo made an excellent filament. Bamboo was inexpensive and readily available, and when heated to high temperatures, it became a durable and efficient material. Edison tested the bamboo filament in his bulbs and found that it could last for over 1,200 hours. This was a significant improvement over previous attempts and brought him closer to his goal. In October 1879, after months of relentless experimentation, Edison achieved a major milestone. He and his team created a light bulb with a carbonized bamboo filament that could glow brightly for a long time without burning out. Edison was overjoyed. He knew that he had finally found the solution he had been searching for. Edison did not stop there. He continued to refine and improve his light bulb, making it even more reliable and efficient. He also developed an entire electrical system to support his invention. This included power plants to generate electricity, wires to distribute it, and switches to control the lights. Edison wanted to ensure that people could easily use his light bulbs in their homes and businesses. In December 1879, Edison held a public demonstration of his electric light system in Menlo Park. People from all over came to see the marvel of electric light. As the sun set, Edison flipped a switch, and the streets and buildings of Menlo Park were illuminated with a bright, steady light. The crowd was amazed. For the first time, they saw a practical alternative to gas lamps and candles. The success of the demonstration marked the beginning of a new era of electric lighting. Edison's invention had a profound impact on society. Electric light bulbs were safer, cleaner, and more convenient than traditional lighting methods. They allowed people to work and study at night without the risk of fire or the need for constant maintenance. Factories and businesses could operate longer hours, increasing productivity and economic growth. The electric light bulb also transformed daily life. Homes became brighter and more comfortable, and cities were safer with well-lit streets. The invention of the electric light bulb revolutionized the way people lived and worked, making it one of the most significant innovations of the modern age. Edison's journey to create the electric light bulb was not easy. It required countless experiments, unwavering determination, and a willingness to learn from failures. His success was a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of believing in one's vision. The story of Edison's light bulb is not just about the invention itself, but also about the process of innovation. It teaches us that great achievements often come from hard work, curiosity, and a refusal to give up, even in the face of challenges. Edison's approach to problem solving and his dedication to making a difference continue to inspire inventors and entrepreneurs around the world. In the years that followed, Edison continued to improve his light bulb and electrical system. He established the Edison Electric Light Company and built the first commercial power station in New York City, bringing electric light to a wider audience. His contributions laid the foundation for the modern electrical industry, and his legacy lives on in the lights that illuminate our homes, streets, and cities today. Thomas Edison's work on the electric light bulb is a shining example of how one person's vision and determination can change the world. His invention brought light to darkness and opened up new possibilities for progress and innovation. As we look at the light bulbs in our homes, we can remember the story of Edison's relentless pursuit of a brighter future and be inspired to pursue our own dreams with the same passion and dedication. Chapter 8. Electric Power Distribution. Thomas Edison had invented the electric light bulb, but his work was far from over. He realized that to make electric light available to everyone, he needed to create a way to distribute electricity efficiently and safely. This was a huge challenge, but Edison was determined. He wanted to bring electric light to homes and businesses, changing the way people lived and worked. Edison's vision was to build a system that could generate and distribute electricity over a wide area. This system would include power plants to produce electricity, wires to carry the electricity, and devices to control and measure its use. It was a complex project that required careful planning and innovative solutions. In 1881, Edison began working on his electric power distribution system. He chose New York City as the place to build his first power plant. New York was a bustling city with many people and businesses, making it the perfect location to demonstrate the potential of electric power. Edison selected a site on Pearl Street in Lower Manhattan for the power plant. The Pearl Street Station, as it was called, would be the first commercial power plant in the world. Edison and his team worked tirelessly to design and build the plant. They faced many challenges, from finding the right equipment to ensuring the safety of the system. One of the biggest challenges was generating enough electricity to power the light bulbs. Edison decided to use steam engines to drive generators, which would produce the electricity. These generators, called dynamos, were large and powerful machines. Edison and his team worked to improve the design of the dynamos, making them more efficient and reliable. Another challenge was distributing the electricity from the power plant to the buildings. Edison designed a network of underground wires to carry the electricity. He used thick copper wires, insulated to prevent electrical leaks and ensure safety. This underground network was a major innovation, as most electrical wires at the time were strung above ground, which was less safe and reliable. To control and measure the electricity, Edison invented devices like the fuse and the meter. The fuse protected the system from overloads by breaking the circuit if too much current flowed through it. The meter measured the amount of electricity used by each customer, allowing Edison to charge for the electricity based on usage. After months of hard work, the Pearl Street Station was ready to begin operations. On September 4, 1882, Edison flipped the switch to start the generators. The power plant came to life, producing electricity and sending it through the underground wires to the surrounding buildings. For the first time, parts of New York City were lit up by electric light. The reaction was immediate and enthusiastic. People were amazed by the bright, steady light that Edison's system provided. Businesses could stay open longer, and homes were safer and more comfortable. The success of the Pearl Street Station proved that electric power distribution was practical and beneficial. Edison's system quickly expanded. More power plants were built, and the network of wires grew to cover more of the city. Other cities and countries took notice, and they began to build their own electric power systems based on Edison's model. The world was entering a new era of electric power, and Edison's work was at the forefront of this revolution. The creation of the first electric utility system was a significant achievement. It transformed how people lived and worked, making electric light and power accessible to everyone. It also laid the foundation for the modern electrical grid, which powers our homes, businesses, and cities today. Edison's work on electric power distribution had a profound impact on society. It improved public safety by reducing the risk of fires from gas lamps and candles. It increased productivity by allowing factories and businesses to operate longer hours. It also enhanced the quality of life, providing bright, clean light for reading, working, and relaxing. The success of the Pearl Street station demonstrated Edison's vision and determination. He saw the potential of electric power and worked tirelessly to make it a reality. His innovative solutions to the challenges of power generation and distribution set the standard for the industry. Edison's achievement was not just about technology, it was also about collaboration and teamwork. He worked with a dedicated team of engineers, machinists, and electricians who shared his vision and contributed their skills and knowledge. Together, they overcame obstacles and created a system that changed the world. The story of Edison's electric power distribution system is a testament to the power of innovation and perseverance. It shows that with determination and hard work, even the most ambitious dreams can become reality. Edison's vision of a world powered by electricity continues to inspire and guide us today. Edison's work on electric power distribution also highlighted the importance of safety and reliability. He understood that for people to trust and adopt electric power, the system had to be dependable and secure. His emphasis on safety features like fuses and insulated wires set a precedent for the industry, ensuring that electric power could be used safely by everyone. As we look at the modern electrical grid, we can see the lasting impact of Edison's work. The principles he established, efficient generation, reliable distribution, and safe usage, remain the foundation of our power systems. His legacy lives on in the lights that illuminate our cities, the appliances that make our lives easier, and the technology that powers our world. Thomas Edison's creation of the first electric utility system was a groundbreaking achievement that revolutionized the way we use energy. It brought electric light and power to millions of people, transforming daily life and paving the way for future innovations. Edison's vision, determination, and ingenuity continue to inspire us to dream big and work hard to achieve our goals. The story of Edison's electric power distribution system is a reminder of the importance of vision, innovation, and perseverance. It teaches us that with hard work and determination, we can overcome challenges and create solutions that make a lasting impact on the world. Edison's legacy is a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the potential for technology to improve our lives. Chapter 9. The Motion Picture Camera. Thomas Edison always believed that technology could change the world. After his success with the electric light bulb and the power distribution system, he set his sights on a new challenge: motion pictures. Edison imagined a device that could capture and display moving images, bringing stories and events to life in a way that had never been seen before. The idea of motion pictures was not entirely new. In the late 1800s, there were devices like the zoetrope and the praxinoscope that created the illusion of motion using a series of still images. However, these devices were limited and could only show short, simple animations. Edison wanted to create something more advanced, a machine that could record and play back real-life scenes. In 1888, Edison assigned one of his talented assistants, William Kennedy Laurie Dixon, to work on this project. Dixon was an experienced engineer and a skilled inventor. He shared Edison's vision and was eager to take on the challenge. Together, they began to experiment with different designs and materials to create a working motion picture camera. Their first breakthrough came with the development of a new type of film. They needed a material that was flexible, durable, and could hold a series of images. After much experimentation, they settled on celluloid film. This film was coated with a light-sensitive emulsion that captured images when exposed to light. It was perfect for their needs. Next, they designed a camera to capture these images. They called it the kinetograph. The kinetograph used a series of gears and mechanisms to move the film through the camera, exposing each frame to light for a brief moment. This process captured a sequence of images that, when played back quickly, created the illusion of motion. In 1891, Edison and Dixon demonstrated their first successful motion picture camera. It was a remarkable achievement, but there was still one problem: how to view the recorded images. They needed a device that could play back the film in a way that people could watch and enjoy. To solve this, they invented the kinetoscope, a machine that allowed one person at a time to view a short film through a peephole. The film was placed inside the kinetoscope and moved past a light source and a magnifying lens, creating the illusion of a moving picture. The first kinetoscope films were simple scenes of people dancing, athletes performing, or everyday activities. In April 1894, Edison opened the first kinetoscope parlor in New York City. People lined up to pay a nickel to watch the short films. The kinetoscope quickly became a popular attraction, and kinetoscope parlors opened in other cities. It was the birth of the motion picture industry. Edison's invention changed entertainment forever. For the first time, people could watch moving images of real-life events and stories. It was a new way to experience the world, bringing distant places and exciting events to life. The kinetoscope films were short, but they captivated audiences and sparked their imaginations. Edison and his team continued to improve their inventions. They experimented with longer films and more complex scenes. They built a studio called the Black Maria, where they could control the lighting and create different sets. The studio was covered with black tar paper and had a roof that could open to let in sunlight. It was a simple building, but it allowed Edison and his team to create some of the first motion picture productions. Despite the success of the kinetoscope, Edison knew that the future of motion pictures lay in projection, where many people could watch a film at the same time. In 1896, he acquired the rights to a projection system invented by Thomas Armat called the Vitascope. The Vitascope could project images onto a screen, making it possible for large audiences to watch films together. The first public demonstration of the Vitascope took place on April 23, 1896, at Costa and Bial's Music Hall in New York City. The audience was amazed as they watched the flickering images on the screen. It was a magical experience, and it marked the beginning of the modern movie theater. The invention of the motion picture camera and the development of film projection had a profound impact on entertainment and culture. It created a new art form, combining storytelling, visual effects, and music to create a powerful experience. Movies became a popular form of entertainment, bringing people together to laugh, cry, and be inspired. Edison's contributions to the motion picture industry were groundbreaking. He and his team pioneered the technology that made movies possible. They laid the foundation for an industry that would grow to become one of the most influential in the world. The movies created a shared cultural experience, bringing stories and ideas to a wide audience. The impact of motion pictures extended beyond entertainment. They became a powerful tool for education, communication, and documentation. Movies could capture historical events, teach scientific concepts, and spread important messages. They helped people understand different cultures and perspectives, promoting empathy and understanding. Edison's work on motion pictures also demonstrated the importance of collaboration and innovation. He worked closely with talented individuals like Dixon, combining their skills and ideas to achieve great things. Their success was a testament to the power of teamwork and creative thinking. As the motion picture industry evolved, new technologies and techniques were developed. Sound was added to films in the late 1920s, creating talkies that brought dialogue and music to life. Color film was introduced, adding a new dimension to storytelling. Special effects, animation, and digital technology continued to push the boundaries of what was possible. Today, movies are a central part of our culture and daily lives. They entertain, educate, and inspire us. The legacy of Edison and his work on motion pictures lives on in every film we watch, every story we enjoy, and every moment we share in a darkened theater. Thomas Edison's invention of the motion picture camera was a turning point in history. It opened up new possibilities for storytelling and communication, transforming entertainment and culture. His vision and determination to create a new way to capture and display moving images changed the world, leaving a lasting legacy that continues to inspire and captivate us today. Chapter 10. The Edison Effect. Thomas Edison was always surrounded by experiments and inventions in his laboratory. One day in 1883, while working on improving the electric light bulb, he noticed something unusual. This discovery would later be known as the Edison Effect, and it would play a crucial role in the development of modern electronics. Edison was experimenting with the filaments inside light bulbs. He wanted to make them more efficient and longer lasting. As he was working, he decided to add a small metal plate inside one of the bulbs, placing it near the filament. This metal plate was connected to an electrical circuit outside the bulb. Edison was curious to see what would happen. When Edison switched on the bulb, he observed that an electric current flowed from the heated filament to the metal plate. This was strange because the filament and the metal plate were not physically connected. The current seemed to jump through the empty space inside the bulb. Edison was puzzled but intrigued by this phenomenon. He had discovered something new and important. Edison called this strange behavior the Edison effect. Although he did not fully understand it at the time, he knew it was significant. He realized that the heated filament emitted tiny particles called electrons. These electrons traveled through the vacuum inside the bulb and reached the metal plate, creating an electric current. Edison was not an expert in theoretical science, but he knew that his discovery had potential applications. He filed a patent for the Edison effect, but he did not pursue it further. He was busy with other inventions and did not have time to explore this new phenomenon in depth. However, his discovery did not go unnoticed. A few years later, British scientist John Ambrose Fleming took a keen interest in Edison's work. Fleming was an expert in electrical engineering and was fascinated by the Edison effect. He conducted experiments to understand it better and realized that it could be used to detect and amplify electrical signals. This led to the invention of the vacuum tube, also known as the Fleming valve. The vacuum tube was a glass tube containing a heated filament and a metal plate, similar to Edison's setup. When an electric current passed through the filament, it emitted electrons. These electrons traveled through the vacuum to the metal plate, creating a flow of electricity. The vacuum tube could control the flow of electrons and amplify weak electrical signals, making it a crucial component in early electronics. The invention of the vacuum tube revolutionized technology. It was used in radios, allowing them to receive and amplify signals from distant stations. This made it possible for people to listen to music, news, and entertainment broadcasts from all over the world. The vacuum tube also played a vital role in the development of early computers, enabling them to perform calculations and process information. Edison's discovery of the Edison effect was the foundation for these advancements. Although he did not fully understand its potential, his curiosity and willingness to experiment opened the door to a new world of electronics. His work inspired other scientists and inventors to explore and build upon his findings. The importance of the Edison effect cannot be overstated. It marked the beginning of the electronic age, paving the way for modern devices like televisions, computers, and smartphones. Without Edison's discovery, the technology we take for granted today might not exist. Edison's story teaches us valuable lessons about the nature of discovery and innovation. It shows us that even seemingly small and unexpected findings can have a significant impact. Edison's curiosity and experimentation led to a breakthrough that changed the world, even though he did not realize it at the time. The Edison effect also highlights the importance of collaboration and building on the work of others. Edison's discovery was the starting point, but it took the efforts of scientists like Fleming to fully understand and apply it. Innovation often comes from a combination of ideas and knowledge from different people and fields. Edison's work reminds us that the journey of discovery is often filled with surprises. He was focused on improving the light bulb, but along the way, he stumbled upon a phenomenon that had far-reaching implications. This unexpected discovery is a testament to the power of curiosity and the importance of keeping an open mind. The legacy of the Edison effect lives on in the countless electronic devices that shape our daily lives. From the radios that entertained families in the early 20th century to the sophisticated computers and smartphones we use today, Edison's discovery is at the heart of modern technology. As we continue to innovate and explore new frontiers, we can draw inspiration from Edison's example. His willingness to experiment, his curiosity about the unknown, and his ability to recognize the potential of his discoveries are qualities that can guide us in our own pursuits. The Edison effect is a reminder that even the smallest discoveries can have a profound impact, changing the world in ways we might never imagine. Chapter 11. Later Years and Legacy. As Thomas Edison grew older, his passion for invention did not fade. Even in his later years, he continued to work tirelessly, always seeking new ideas and improvements. Edison's energy and curiosity seemed endless. He spent most of his time in his laboratories, surrounded by his trusted team of assistants, always pushing the boundaries of what was possible. In his later years, Edison focused on a variety of projects. One of his significant endeavors was improving the storage battery. He believed that better batteries could help advance many technologies, including electric cars. Edison spent years experimenting with different materials and designs. Finally, he developed a nickel-iron battery that was more durable and longer-lasting than previous versions. This invention was used in electric vehicles and other applications, proving once again Edison's ability to innovate. Edison's personal life during these years was filled with both joy and sadness. He married Mina Miller in 1886, and they had 3 children together. Mina was a supportive partner, managing their household and providing a stable home life. Edison loved spending time with his family, although his work often kept him busy. He enjoyed playing with his children and teaching them about science and nature. Despite his successes, Edison faced challenges and failures. Some of his projects did not work out as planned. For example, he invested a lot of time and money into developing a method to extract iron from low-grade ore, but the process was not commercially viable. Edison learned from these failures, always moving forward with new ideas and experiments. His resilience and determination were key aspects of his character. Edison's achievements did not go unnoticed. Throughout his life, he received many honors and awards. In 1928, he was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, one of the highest honors in the United States, for his contributions to society. Many universities also awarded him honorary degrees, recognizing his impact on science and technology. Edison was grateful for these honors, but he remained humble, always crediting his team and the collaborative effort behind his inventions. One of the most remarkable aspects of Edison's legacy is how his inventions have shaped the modern world. The electric light bulb, the phonograph, and the motion picture camera are just a few examples of his work that have had a lasting impact. These inventions changed how people lived, worked, and entertained themselves. They made life more convenient, opened up new forms of communication and entertainment, and laid the foundation for future technological advances. The electric light bulb, for instance, revolutionized daily life. Before its invention, people relied on candles and gas lamps, which were dim and dangerous. Edison's light bulb provided a safe, bright, and reliable source of light, making it possible to work and read at night. It transformed homes, streets, and workplaces, greatly improving quality of life. The phonograph, another of Edison's groundbreaking inventions, brought music and recorded sound into people's homes. It was the first device that could both record and play back sound, allowing people to enjoy music, speeches, and other recordings at their convenience. The phonograph was the precursor to modern music players and audio recording technology. Edison's work on motion pictures laid the groundwork for the film industry. His invention of the kinetoscope, followed by the development of film projection, made it possible to record and display moving images. This innovation led to the creation of the movie industry, which has become a major form of entertainment and cultural expression worldwide. In addition to his well-known inventions, Edison's work on the electric power distribution system was crucial in making electricity widely available. His development of the Pearl Street Station in New York City was the first successful implementation of a power plant and distribution system, providing electricity to homes and businesses. This system became the model for future electrical grids, which power our modern cities and towns. Edison's influence extended beyond his inventions. He was a pioneer of the research and development laboratory, creating a model for innovation that combined teamwork, experimentation, and practical application. His Menlo Park and later West Orange laboratories were places where ideas were turned into tangible products. This approach has been adopted by countless companies and research institutions, driving technological progress to this day. Thomas Edison's later years were a testament to his unwavering dedication to invention and innovation. He continued to work on new projects, always seeking to improve existing technologies and create new ones. His resilience in the face of failure and his relentless pursuit of knowledge are inspiring. Edison's legacy is not just the sum of his inventions, but also the spirit of curiosity and perseverance he embodied. He showed that with hard work, creativity, and a willingness to learn from mistakes, remarkable achievements are possible. His life and work continue to inspire inventors, scientists, and dreamers around the world. As Edison approached the end of his life, he remained active and engaged. He continued to work in his laboratory, driven by the same curiosity that had fueled his career. On October 18, 1931, Thomas Edison passed away at the age of 84. His death marked the end of an era, but his contributions to science and technology live on. Edison's impact on the world is immeasurable. His inventions have touched every aspect of modern life, from how we light our homes to how we listen to music and watch movies. His legacy is a reminder of the power of innovation and the importance of perseverance. Thomas Edison showed us that with determination and a willingness to explore the unknown, we can achieve great things and change the world for the better. As we reflect on Edison's life and legacy, we are reminded of the importance of curiosity, hard work, and the pursuit of knowledge. His story is a beacon of inspiration, encouraging us to dream big and never give up, no matter the challenges we face. The world we live in today is a testament to his genius and his relentless drive to push the boundaries of what is possible. Chapter 12. Lessons from Edison's life. Thomas Edison's life was full of amazing inventions and groundbreaking discoveries, but beyond his inventions, Edison's life offers valuable lessons for all of us. His perseverance, creativity, and innovative spirit are qualities that we can all learn from and apply in our own lives. One of the most important lessons from Edison's life is the value of perseverance. Edison faced many failures and setbacks in his career. When he was developing the electric light bulb, he tried thousands of different materials for the filament before finding the right one. Each failure was a step closer to success. Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This attitude is a powerful reminder that failure is not the end but a part of the journey to success. Perseverance means not giving up, even when things get tough. It means learning from mistakes and continuing to move forward. In our own lives, we can apply this lesson by staying determined and resilient in the face of challenges. Whether we are studying for exams, working on a difficult project, or trying to achieve a personal goal, perseverance can help us overcome obstacles and achieve success. Another key lesson from Edison's life is the importance of creativity. Edison was a master at thinking outside the box. He looked at problems from different angles and came up with innovative solutions. His ability to imagine new possibilities led to many of his greatest inventions, from the phonograph to the motion picture camera. Creativity is not just for inventors and artists. It is a valuable skill for everyone. Being creative means being open to new ideas and willing to try different approaches. It means not being afraid to take risks and experiment. We can cultivate creativity in our own lives by exploring our interests, asking questions, and looking for new ways to solve problems. Edison's innovative spirit is another lesson we can learn from. He was always looking for ways to improve existing technologies and create new ones. He saw opportunities where others saw obstacles. This innovative mindset allowed him to make significant contributions to many fields, including electricity, sound recording, and motion pictures. To be innovative, we need to be curious and willing to explore the unknown. We should seek out new knowledge, stay informed about the latest developments, and be open to change. Innovation often comes from combining different ideas and perspectives, so collaborating with others can also spark new insights and solutions. Curiosity is a driving force behind many of Edison's achievements. From a young age, he was always asking questions and seeking to understand how things worked. His curiosity led him to experiment and discover new things. This lifelong love of learning was a key factor in his success. Being curious means being eager to learn and explore. It means asking questions and seeking answers. In our daily lives, we can nurture our curiosity by reading books, exploring new hobbies, and staying curious about the world around us. Curiosity keeps our minds active and engaged, opening up new possibilities and opportunities. Hard work is another essential lesson from Edison's life. Edison often worked long hours in his laboratory, dedicated to his experiments and projects. He believed that success required effort and dedication. His work ethic was a major reason for his many accomplishments. Hard work means putting in the time and effort needed to achieve our goals. It means being disciplined and focused, even when the task is difficult or tedious. By working hard, we can develop our skills, gain valuable experience, and make progress toward our dreams. Edison's collaborative approach is also noteworthy. He worked with many talented individuals who contributed to his success. He valued teamwork and believed that great achievements were often the result of collective effort. His laboratories were places where ideas were shared and people worked together to solve problems. Collaboration is important in many areas of life. Working with others allows us to combine our strengths and learn from different perspectives. It teaches us the value of cooperation and helps us achieve more than we could on our own. By being open to collaboration, we can build strong relationships and accomplish great things together. Edison's story also teaches us the importance of believing in ourselves. Despite facing many challenges and doubts from others, Edison remained confident in his abilities and vision. He trusted his instincts and pursued his goals with determination. Believing in ourselves means having confidence in our abilities and trusting our judgment. It means staying positive and motivated, even when faced with difficulties. Self-belief gives us the courage to take on new challenges and the resilience to keep going when things get tough. One of the most inspiring aspects of Edison's life is his ability to turn ideas into reality. He had a vision for a better future and worked tirelessly to make it happen. His inventions have had a lasting impact on the world, improving the quality of life for millions of people. Turning ideas into reality requires more than just imagination. It requires action. It means setting goals, making plans, and taking steps to bring our ideas to life. By being proactive and taking initiative, we can turn our dreams into achievements. Thomas Edison's life is a testament to the power of perseverance, creativity, innovation, curiosity, hard work, collaboration, self-belief, and action. His story is a source of inspiration and a reminder that we all have the potential to achieve great things. By applying these principles in our own lives, we can overcome challenges, discover new possibilities, and make a positive impact on the world. As we reflect on Edison's life and legacy, let us be inspired to pursue our own goals with passion and determination. Let us stay curious and open to new ideas, work hard and collaborate with others, and believe in our ability to make a difference. The lessons from Edison's life are timeless and can guide us in our own journeys towards success and fulfillment.